Breaking news before you go, a large police presence near 30th and Cumming. So this was a look at the scene just after 4 o'clock this morning. First Alert 6 anchor Aaron Sullivan reported seeing at least 12 OPD cruisers blocking westbound traffic. Right now, additional details are limited.
And more breaking news. The U.S. is reiterating this morning that its diplomats have stayed in Kyiv despite Russia's escalating threats. Now, yesterday, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas suggested otherwise, saying that all the European countries stayed in Ukraine, but America left. This comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky wrote a rare letter to America. He appealed to President Donald Trump and Congress for more air defenses. Earlier this week, we told you here at the Alert Desk about how Russia urged foreign diplomats to evacuate the capital city. Russia then carried out one of the most intense bombardments on Kyiv since the start of the war. Cerise.
Maria, thank you. More top stories before you go. Nebraska is suing the Justice Department. Last week, Nebraska joined Indiana and Louisiana, challenging the move to reclassify marijuana. Attorney General Mike Hilgers argues the DOJ skipped the normal rulemaking process. Denzel Gaines is formally charged with second-degree murder and other felonies in the death of 21-year-old Micaiah Eggert. Court records say the victim's sister told investigators Gaines grabbed a shotgun and pulled the trigger twice. Gaines is currently being held without bond. An Omaha man is in jail after troopers say he stole a U-Haul in Kearney and led them on a chase. That theft allegedly happened at a hotel lot in Kearney. The suspect, 40-year-old Jeffrey Richardson, he faces several charges, including robbery and reckless driving. A pilot made an emergency landing near Blair shortly after takeoff due to engine trouble. That pilot landed the crop duster about 500 yards from the airport. We're told the pilot walked away with no injuries. There's also no damage to that plane. Well, tonight's opening ceremonies for Special Olympics Nebraska, they begin with a parade of athletes. There will also be award presentations, speakers, and the lighting of the Summer Games cauldron. Doors open at 5 p.m. at DJ Sokol Arena, located on the Creighton campus. Nebraska softball faces the Arkansas Razorbacks in their opening game of the Women's College World Series tonight. First pitch from Oklahoma City is set for 8:30. You can catch the game on ESPN2.